Taskmaster.
We have a green box, we have a live counter ticking up, so we should now be live, which of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network, or as it should be called, Gen and Mill talk about Taskmaster for 2 hours over the top of Tales of Arise. Because, yeah, that's essentially what we're going to be doing at this point. I make no bones about it. That's just the way this is going to go. So, yeah, series... Have you watched the final episode of Series 15? Actually,
Yeah, that's come out.
Yes,
already.
yes, you must have, because you saw the copy Alex task, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, I remember when it was first airing, there was, like, a lot of people complaining that May was just running away with the series.
Now, huh? Come to
But
think of it, I remember Gannon
I don't really
calling you that,
care,
too.
because there was
No,
just
May-
so much insanity
May-
going on.
Pretty famous among the lords.
May also just did well.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing either.
I
Like,
mean,
and
What do you mean?
not that May was
That's
running away
something
with
you
it.
should be
It's
proud
like
of,
Kyle
if
was
anything, Alpha.
definitely
They're
on their
scared of you,
tail.
man.
Yeah.
You're a real badass.
I mean, yeah, Kyle
not as simple
absolutely
as that,
caught
Ma.
up to them,
The
like,
more
in the
well-known
last
he
few
is,
episodes.
The more people might come after
Like,
him.
Didn't
No,
Kyle
that's
win
not
the
what I'm worried
last
about.
3 episodes or
It
something?
isn't?
I think he
When
won,
people
like,
call me that,
8,
It feels like
7,
there's
8,
something
9,
hanging over
yeah.
me that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, 7, 8,
It's hard
9.
to put into words, but it's something
Um,
that doesn't feel like a part of me.
Ivo managing
I
to
can't
win
let be
2
a part of
episodes
me.
is insane.
Or else.
Yeah, it doesn't. It shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I still think it's pretty amazing. but
And
that's just
Frankie
me.
wins 0, which he says in the podcast, he was very happy about that because he didn't want to go up on the stage and celebrate with the prizes.
That's fair. I can get that. I can get behind that.
And honestly, you can sort of see in the episodes where he is in with a shout of winning, he doesn't try his hardest in the studio task.
No,
In
because
those
why should
episodes.
he? Like, why would he though, right?
Yeah, he's not there to win. He's just there
He's
to have
there to
some
have a
fun.
good- Yeah, I mean, he's there to like comment on his kids and have a good time.
And I'm so happy that he did it because he is just. He could have
Is
just.
he like a controversial
He
comedian?
was, yeah, he very much is.
Okay,
And
and not
certainly,
crazy.
yeah, certainly in his early career, he went through, as he says in one of the studio tasks, he went through so many joke scandals.
Mm.
I think there was one. Let's see if I mean there's several, but one that I always remember is so there was a show in the UK, Mock the Week.
Yes, I know. I've heard of Mock the Week.
Yeah, and one of the segments was scenes we'd like to see. So they'd get a prompt and they'd have to make jokes based on it. And the prompt
Didn't
was
Dara host that?
Dara hosted it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hugh Dennis was also. I mean, there's a bunch of comedians who've been on there. Greg Davies was on there a few times as well.
Yeah.
And the prompt was things you wouldn't hear in the Queen's Christmas speech or something like that. And Frank.
Okay, I guess my question I guess is more, is he controversial for good reasons or for bad reasons?
I'll let you decide based on this joke. So yeah, prompt is things you wouldn't hear in the Queen's Christmas speech. He said, "I'm now so old, my pussy is haunted."
Okay, that's not bad.
That got a lot of like flack.
Yeah, that's because let's be honest. For some reason, you Brits are weird about the Queen.
Yeah, no, people very much are. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Some of them have been in, decent taste, and some of them have, I would argue, been in bad taste. But at the same time, we are talking over a decade ago now, I would say, for most of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I think he did go through some, like, addiction stuff as well.
That makes sense. Okay.
And I think he has mellowed out some now. I mean, he still very much will push the boundaries, and he got there a couple of times in Taskmaster.
Like, he was brushing up against some things, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, one of my favorite lines from Series 15, I think it's in the first episode, is when May found the ball of string in the drawer, and it's like it's like the Lord worked through me, and Frankie's just like, it's nice that he's taking time away from all those natural disasters to look in on the show.
Yep, no, that was funny.
Like,
I got a chuckle.
That is a peak Frankie Boyle line.
Okay. Because, like, I could tell, like, he's skirting an edge and, like, he's holding himself back. Like, I could tell that.
Yeah.
But I'm also not gonna be like, he did bad. Like, he was doing bad, right?
Yeah. No, that is a more relaxed Frankie Boyle I've seen for quite some time, actually.
Okay.
Like, I genuinely think he was enjoying not having to sort of, you know... Because the thing with panel shows is there's a lot of sort of competition to be the funniest and all that. And so,
Right, and he's not playing.
yeah, but I mean, the thing with Taskmaster is that there isn't that competition. Like,
Right,
it's not a competitive environment in that sense.
Right, it's the wrong show for that. Like,
Yeah.
if that's what you're here for, you're not gonna have a good time.
And, you know, so many people have said, both past contestants and fans of the show have said, that the amazing thing about Taskmaster is that it reveals people's true personalities. It's so hard to actually put on an act while doing Taskmaster.
Especially, like,
Do you
I mean, like,
really
when you're
think you should
struggling
trust
to figure out how to
accommodations from a
throw a
Renan Lord?
banana from the highest
How do we
part
know
of the
it's
building
safe?
or something.
Yeah.
Like we have any other choice.
Like, you
Go
don't
and
get
set 'em up
that.
outside
Yeah.
of town at this hour.
I would say the
Honestly,
only person
I'd
I've
still
seen
take that over
successfully
staying
keep
here.
a persona up
What
on
if
the
they try
show
to
is
kill us
Paul
in our
Chowdhury.
sleep?
I doubt that's the case.
And that's
His best
mostly
chance to
because
kill
he's
us would have been
insane, I
back at the
think.
palace.
And just...
His true intentions aside.
I'm not sure he ever...
now, at least
that
we're in
might
his
be
good
his
books.
true personality,
And
I
we
don't know,
probably
but
shouldn't
it
test
just
his
seems so
patience.
insane that I can't
Let's
think
find
it
out
is.
in and check in.
He's just a weird dude.
He's a very weird man.
I love him, but he's a weird
Interesting.
dude.
All we ever
He's a
knew was a
very
tattered
weird
blanket, a rock-hard bed, and well past its prime food.
I genuinely
talking
felt very
What we
proud of
got for our slave
him
labor
Yeah.
back in Calaglia.
for the
As you can tell, it
for
wasn't much at
the
all.
deck of cards
Here,
trick.
the Danans
Yeah.
get the same basic amenities.
Like, that was
The quality's way
genuinely
better
great.
than anything we were given. Hell, apparently they even get time off to do what they want. If I'm being
But
honest,
yeah, I just
I'm not sure how to
absolutely
take all
adored
this in.
Series 15.
Could it be that
Like,
things
there's
were simply harsher
some
in
moments that just
Calaglia
had me
compared to everywhere
absolutely
else?
dying
It
with
was the
laughter.
same in Sislodia too.
Yeah, no,
Our
it's
buildings
great.
and clothing were equipped to handle the cold, but that was the only difference. Working the floodlights was a form of
What's
punishment,
happening right
so
now?
we didn't
Who's
really
doing
get
the what?
rewarded for anything
Oh,
that we did.
I
Yeah,
wandered
we
around
could be
for a
assigned to
bit
fix
because I
food or
forgot
make
what I
daily
had to do.
necessities too, but when all was said and done,
And then
most
I
of that
finally
stuff
decided,
went to
oh, I'll
the
check the
Renans.
quest saying, oh,
And there
right, I've
wasn't
got to
much
go
in the
end
way
the
of
day,
compensation
basically.
For any of that, so I'd say that Sislodia and Calaglia were
Fair
both
enough.
pretty awful.
An Elder Menancia really is unusual.
But
To
yeah,
say the least. Hell, I
the
might
bash
even
the
go so
bell with the
far as to call
bowling
it
ball
crazy.
without stepping on
But
the
fact
grass.
remains, Danans
Just,
aren't free
Ivo
here.
was so
Yeah,
close to
no
doing
matter
well
how
on that
happy they
task
look,
by
they're
complete
still slaves.
accident.
I don't
I
even know
know.
what to think right
He
now.
was so close to
This is
actually
all way
getting
too
the
much
4
to deal
points for
with.
coming
It's giving
last,
me a
and I'm
headache.
so surprised that he actually managed to do that, and then, no, it was all torn away from him.
So
Yep.
that was Lord Dohalim, huh?
Genuinely the
He sure is
funniest.
something. Definitely not like the other lords we've met up until now.
Oh,
At first, he
just
sounded like just some snobby
the
royal.
clearness
He
of the
immediately
pulper
shut down
task
Shion's surprise
contrasted
attack.
with the absolute
tougher than he
insanity
looks.
of the
Definitely.
create your own
After
task
all, he's a
thing.
lord for a reason.
Yes.
Of
food was
just
pretty damn
just
good,
basically
too.
throwing a bunch of
Why
spices
are you
and
two
garlic
complimenting him?
on
You
top
just
of a
said it
rubber
yourself,
duck.
Alphen. He's a Renan Lord.
Yeah, but he didn't act hostile towards us.
You're reading him wrong. He's acting indifferent. He's attempting to keep some distance between himself and everyone else. It's obvious.
Have you managed to
What
watch
are
any
we going to do
Taskmaster
then?
New Zealand yet?
Vicent seems to be legit
Yes.
peaceful.
Me
Are
and
we
my
just
fiance
gonna
have watched
do
a
as
few
he says and
episodes.
leave things be?
We're
I'm not
holding
entirely
off a
sure.
little bit until we get
For now, I think it would be
some
best for us to rest at the end.
some Taskmaster
Think about our
buffer.
options.
Yeah.
But once we are done with that, like once we've gotten through everything again, I think we'll try to watch some Taskmaster New Zealand. But like what little we did see, there he is.
Yeah.
We watched the origin of the grape.
The grape escape, yeah.
Yep, Danny's an idiot. I love him.
David Correos is another one of those who is genuinely insane, I think. Because again, he's talked about his performance, and he says that was him at about a 4 out of
that seems
8 or
about
10.
correct. The rap episode, we're like,
the rapping. The rapping is so funny. It is so funny. Just the way it cuts from Montgomery, more like Montgomery, to David going, "I'm gonna drown you in your own blood. Hold your face down in your own blood."
The fact that he felt so bad that he had to
he bought meat packs for them. Oh, but
so funny.
I love that episode not just because of that task, but the task afterwards where they have to dress up as Abraham Lincoln and join the voice call.
Yes. Oh, that was so good too.
Everyone does something amazing. Laura dressing more like Osama bin Laden.
She was first. I will give her that. But Jesus.
Guy.
It's also funny that that David and the other guy
David
had
and Guy
just had lunch.
Yeah, went to the same shop. Oh,
within the literal minutes of each other.
Yeah.
Told us to expect you.
And then Matt Heath just coming in a traffic cone, and it's just like, "I'd like to see the Abraham Lincoln with the orange cone wave with 2 hands."
This is better than I expected.
And then there's the ghost.
Yeah.
The room. It's nice.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Ursula just is so
nice.
no fucks given, and
okay,
it's
La?
so funny.
You're a million miles away.
Nah, it's weird. I felt strange ever since we arrived here. Can't seem to shake it. Maybe it's something about this place.
You're just tired. I'm feeling pretty sluggish myself.
You too.
As I've said,
you two?
as I
A word
and
to
many
the
people
wise,
have said,
our
Series
work here
2
is far from over.
of New Zealand
Get yourselves
is
together.
probably one of the top seasons of all
Sorry, but
time,
I need to
and
call it a
one of
day.
the most unhinged
Let's meet back
casts.
here tomorrow morning and see where things
Yeah,
go from
that
there.
sounds
Sound
correct
good?
to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
But keep an eye out for anything strange, okay? We
Because
still don't know how
Dave,
safe
as I
this
said,
place
David is
really
insane. He just is.
Like, he made the rapping task so funny.
Yeah.
Are you two feeling
I
any
think
better?
it would have been funny
Yeah,
just
a good night's
even
sleep
if it
seems
was
to have
just
done the trick.
Matt and Ursula
I wonder why we
saying
felt
that
so
they're
out
gonna
of it.
eat the other team's
Think it might have been
asses
because
for
of all
some
the food we
reason.
ate?
You don't
Yep.
think they slipped something into our food, do you? That must be it.
But yeah, the fact
If
that
they were making
David
an
just
attempt on our
went
lives,
fully
we'd know it by
insane,
now.
that is.
So, on the other hand,
Uh,
he could be warning us off.
Just like, you were just like,
Come to
But-
think of it,
but-
you didn't eat
but
anything
why,
at the
though?
meal, Rinwell. Aren't you starving?
Oh, I made myself
so,
something later.
apparently, again,
missed out.
I'm trying to
was
remember
some
what
mighty
exactly
fancy
what he
grub
said. I
they
think he
served
said that was
yesterday.
basically the last
What?
team task
And
they
give the
filmed.
enemy a chance to poison
Um,
me too? Are you crazy?
oh, was it?
Yeah,
That's funny.
and
What's the big
that's a
deal?
so
good
he
bit.
was
Sheila made it
exhausted
too,
from
remember?
doing tasks all
We both
day,
tried the same
and
stuff.
I think he had a back
Well,
issue at the
maybe they
time.
laced it with poison
Oh,
that may be
yeah.
harmful to
And so was a
tenants,
little loopy with pain.
That's enough,
And
Manuel.
so, yeah, he just
I
let
get
things
that.
go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I understand that.
A cat? Where'd it come from?
Again, one of the first things he says is, "Matt,
something on
gonna
its
run you
collar.
over like a cat," and Guy's
Hold
like,
on a
"You
sec."
shouldn't run over cats, David."
I think it's trying to lead us somewhere.
I'm gonna follow him.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
I have so many questions, and none of them are good.
I don't think David has any answers for you, because I think he seemed shocked at himself.
Yeah, David is the type of person who will like watch the VT and just
Stay
go,
close. We're gonna lose it.
"What?"
Gotten into you,
Well,
Law.
he was basically. It
might
seemed
be
like
the
he
lead
was
we've been
watching
waiting
it all
for.
for the first
Seriously?
time.
Yeah,
Some people train animals to
that's
act as
exactly what
messengers.
it felt like.
They don't attract attention, see?
And you think that someone
Oh,
might be
there's
using that
a
cat?
couple of
To reach out
more
and
just
send us a message
absolutely
or something?
amazing
I
David
could be
moments
wrong,
in
but
the
it's possible.
final
I'm
episode.
impressed. I would never have thought of that.
I should know. We used to use them in
I
society.
need to like, I need to see this. It's
Yeah.
just so funny.
All I'll say about it
She's
is
so
that
adorable.
one of the tasks in that final episode
So, that black
was
cat. Do you think it
um,
works for someone?
then adapted
I'm sure
by
it
the
does.
UK version.
You wouldn't try to lead us
It
around
was
like that if
the
somebody didn't train
hold
it
the
to.
milk above the
I
microwave.
wouldn't know. I've never
Oh
had
my
one.
god,
Yeah.
If I did, it'd
the
probably
one that
turn into a
Munya
poodle.
was like beaten over.
Yeah.
I wonder
Well,
who
the,
they
the
are.
one
Poor
that the
Mummy.
one that Dara
doubt
fucked
this is
up and is
Dothraki
now
work.
known for nothing else in the
Yeah, he has
Taskmaster
no
world,
reason to do
despite
this.
winning.
I thought that
Although we can't rule out
I
that
thought
it
that
might be
was
one
Sarah.
of his lackeys either.
Well, no,
think one
Sarah
of his
Sarah was the
subordinates
only
is up
one
to something?
to realize she
That
could
Dohalim
pour the
guy
milk
is a
out.
pretty unusual
And
kid.
Yeah,
so
but that's why
for
she.
Renan, let
but
alone
that's why
for
it
the Lord.
smelled.
Yeah, and resulted in the room smelling
It's
when
hard for
she
me
and
to
Munya did the
imagine
tea
that
Yeah,
he'll
cast.
agree with what he's doing.
Dara is the one
Maybe
who
one of
picked
them
them
plucked
up
the
and
courage to go
then
rogue.
pretty much instantly
Well,
put
let's
them
head
down
further
and
in.
was really confused,
I'd
like,
to figure
wait,
out at
what?
least one of the
What,
mysteries
wait?
of
Wait,
this
what?
place.
Wait, what? Seems so confused over the task. But I'm not gonna say anything else about it. It is just, but it is. Oh, it's glorious. It's glorious. It really is.
I need to watch it, but we're waiting until I think we're waiting until the till we have some buffer with season 16.
No, that's fair. So I would recommend watching in the order that I did,
knows?
which is
We should
2,
hurry.
3,
We don't want to
1,
lose it.
just because
Okay.
one is
Whoever came
good
up with this is
at,
pretty damn
for the
clever.
most part. It
It just
It's
looks
like
an
Taskmaster
ordinary
season
cat.
1.
yeah, it just takes a little while for them to really get into the swing of things. And especially
Right.
considering Jeremy, especially, I think, needed some time to really bed in and figure out how he wanted to do the
We
role.
lost sight of the cat.
After
Yeah.
the chase it's led us on.
Like
there's gotta
be
be
the
something
Taskmaster.
Yeah, because
Let's go
especially
further in.
considering, you know, he's obviously got Greg's massive shoes to
I
fill.
get that underground
Um,
forest
Right,
is
and like-
exactly something
And
we
he's
should
I know,
not
do.
like,
really a
we all know
comedian
that
as
we
Could've
well.
done without any Zoogles
Yeah,
running
like it
around.
doesn't seem like
You
he's a
said it.
comedian. He's
I
just
get
a
the city up top
older
surrounded by
figure.
castle walls.
I think
But now
he's
I won't
he's
be
sort
able
of
to
a
sleep easy knowing they're lurking underneath.
satirist,
You have
like
nothing to fear. Zoogles work for the Renans.
I think
Okay,
he's
that
I think
makes
he's
sense.
well known
The
for
other
doing like
Zoogles won't let them
satirical
get
news
close.
reading and that sort of
Using
thing.
Zoogles to keep watch
Okay,
over their own
that
kind.
makes a
huh?
lot of sense to me.
Yeah,
That would
but
explain
he
why we're not
definitely
seeing any
grows
guards.
into the show as it goes
Yeah,
on, and
makes
he's
it that much
he's
easier
definitely
for someone to
different from
hide around
Greg,
here,
but I
too.
think it works for the show because for
I
the
think-
for the most part the show is drier in its humor, and so a drier Taskmaster works.
Yeah. Like, because
Sorry,
Alex
Fiona.
Alex
Foot
just
slipped.
makes the
Are
tasks
you all right?
be so fucking absurd
I should be asking you.
that
What am I
it
saying?
work like
Of
that
course you're okay.
that like
It's easy to
Greg
forget
needs to
sometimes.
lean into the
If
absurdity
anybody
of it
else
all.
was
Yeah.
in your place, they'd be howling right about
Paul
now.
is a lot more low key about it.
Huh?
Um,
Right. You mean your
I would
brothers?
argue he's
Yeah,
about
I'm-
like where
well,
Alex was
no worse for
originally.
wear over
Yeah.
here. Again, sorry for brushing
I mean,
you
the
like that
the funny
without
thing
warning.
about Series 1 of New Zealand is that
Well, just be
Paul's
careful.
brother is one of the contestants.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, Alphen.
Guess who got to do the solo task in that series?
I'm sorry to bother you.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't his
Okay.
brother.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what it is, but yeah, it was
It
Guy
sounds-
Williams. But yeah, there's actually a lot of people who almost prefer Paul as the assistant now.
Interesting.
Oh boy, I've got to remember
I-
combat.
Oh yeah. Good luck. I like, for me, like, Alex isn't funny on his own.
Yeah.
Like, I never found Alex funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, whereas, like, Greg seems funny on his own.
Yeah.
Like, I watched, like, a stand-up set from Alex, and I was like, this isn't great. I'm kind of disappointed. Because I think Alex is just a bit too, what's the word I want to use?
He does have a very strange sense of humor.
Right. And it's, like, very much like I'm going to be the driest. Like, he leans into the British have a very dry sense of humor.
Yeah. I mean, sort of the whole point of his sense of humor is that he says things that aren't that funny, and it's the reactions that other people give him that makes it funny.
Right. And so, like, in many ways, he needs a panel to bounce off of.
Yeah.
Like, he needs others to bounce off.
Yeah. And Greg is the perfect one because he just shows so much disdain for any and all of Alex's humor.
Which makes it work.
Yeah. I mean, to give an example, going back to Series 6, the Wet David Attenborough thing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that was about. And I don't think anybody still knows what that's about. Like, it was just something that Alex found hilarious.
And like, that's fair, but also, why?
Yeah.
I can feel my power growing.
The reason the trees around here are so big is
But yeah,
because of astral energy, right?
Paul really works for just the subservient assistant that is just like that manages to be, you know, Alex is very much actively passive aggressive, whereas Paul, there is an element of like
he is this, like, he is that.
Does he actually know what he's doing, or is, you know?
Is he being serious?
Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, no, I 100% get it. Oh my god. I still think one of the funniest things is the boat. From Series 15.
Oh yeah, just Jenny absolutely just fucking
destroying the boat.
Yeah.
Brace.
Spin bitch spin as well.
And then you have Kyle singing his stupid song, and it's like, Kyle, my sweet baby boy, why?
One on a barge pole for me.
And just like, also like the fact that Kyle just is so like no to Alex's shit.
It's here.
And the fact that Greg just cottoned on so quickly that he could just get a reaction so easily from Kyle.
Yup. Cause like, you could tell when Greg is kinder because he sees the reaction in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, I still think there's one task from Series 14 where like, it's clear that someone else should have won. I think like, oh god, was it Manya or
the singing task, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like Manya or the other guy like should have probably won it because they did a better song.
Yeah.
But you could tell that Greg felt like bad that they made Sarah do like relive a trauma, and was
Yeah.
like, no, we're gonna be kind.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Munya on that task is that Greg takes such pleasure in marking somebody down when it's something that the person is good at.
Yeah, right, and like that's Munya's bit.
Yeah, and that
Like
that is what Munya does. Like he creates these little sketches and little song parodies for social media, and
Right.
so you know that he must have thought that he'd just absolutely kill it, and then
And he did.
and no, he created a really good song, but yeah, Greg was never gonna give it high marks.
Well, I mean, he did get what's the word? He did get like he got fourth. Like he got second, I think, right?
No, he got 2 points along with Dara.
Really?
Yeah, John and Fern got 4 points, and Sarah got the 5.
We're in good form.
And honestly, Fern was probably the one who should have won that task, especially considering apparently after that, like in between recordings, Greg would whisper to Fern, "Me Fern Brady," like constantly.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love her comedy too.
Fern is wonderful. Like,
Careful, we don't want to fall here.
and and what was really nice about it is how much fun she had on the show. And because she's autistic and
Yeah.
was worried,
No.
you know, about going on the show, and
No.
yeah, worried about going on the show and like you know, potentially having to mask symptoms and all that sort of stuff, or like that sort of thing. But no, she was just able to be herself. And
Yeah, and like that's the thing about like this show, like that makes Taskmaster so good.
Yeah.
Is because of that, right? Like
yeah,
the only like the characters, the like contestants who I'm like, oh, they definitely feel autistic. Were Joe from Series 8, I want to say.
yeah. Joe is just a very weird man.
I love him though.
Joe is such a weird man. Honestly, Off Menu is a podcast I would recommend. Because it's hosted by Ed Gamble and James A. Caster, and
That equipment should come
it
in
obviously
handy.
has a lot of comedians on it because they are comedians. Joe Thomas's is so funny, because the I'm not sure if I've told you, but the point of Off Menu is basically people come up with their dream meal. So starter, main course, side dish, dessert, drink, that sort of thing. And
Right.
Joe's main dish was lamb, but the story behind it was basically one Christmas he turned onto a TV program and seen somebody cook a lamb by basically burying it underground and then cooking it from there. And so he and the dad of his friend decided to try and do it. They didn't even do it in their own garden. They identified somebody in the neighborhood who was a soft touch and did it in her garden and did it completely wrong. So they just buried a whole dead lamb and it didn't cook at all. What was even better is that they got the guy who did the original TV show on to do a special with Joe, and it's just so funny just hearing Joe just dying in the background as he's realizing how badly he fucked it up, to the point where I think he said the program he watched was Willie's Perfect Chocolate Christmas, only for the titular Willie to reveal they didn't do the lamb thing on Willie's Perfect Chocolate Christmas.
Of course not. Why would they?
you can just hear the hope and optimism in Joe's voice just die as he just goes, oh, oh, I got that much wrong, did I? Oh.
Oh. But, like, that's just Joe as a person.
It really is. And again, Ed Gamble talking on the podcast, just going, no, I know Joe, and that is who he is. He will always just stand with his eyes shut and then say something.
But I also think that, like, Joe is one of the smartest people on that cast. Like, Joe is genuinely one of the smartest ones.
Yeah.
Like if Paul wasn't there, Joe is the smart one.
Mm.
Like, in much the same way that James is like, oh no, Rod is the smart one.
I mean, the thing, of course, about Rod is that he was good at the lateral thinking, and
Yeah.
that is
partially because he's also insane.
Yeah. I mean, he would have done so much better on the show if he could have just, stopped taking the piss out of Greg.
But also,
I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, and Greg wouldn't have respected him as much.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, let's be honest. Like, Greg would be like, I expected you to take the piss out of me. We're not friends anymore. Like, wholeheartedly. That would have been something Greg would have done. Cause, like, yeah, I don't know. There's no world in which that isn't what happens.
And I mean, the great thing about Series 7 is, I think, as James Acaster put it, every contestant on that lineup, maybe except Phil Wang, would have won another series of Taskmaster.
Yeah, it's a stacked season.
It is.
It's also like one of the few seasons where there's no one I don't like.
Yeah.
Because like Lou Sanders in Ed Gamble's season, I do not like.
Yeah, Lou has a very sort of I don't know how to put it in a complimentary way, because I don't really like her style of humor either.
Like, she's like the type of like granola hippie that annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And also, like, she does the suck-up thing to Greg too much. Cause like, Ian is funny about it, and he knows to stop because it's less.
I mean, the thing with Ian is that he went into the studio records like basically deciding that he'd be the competitive one, but very clearly throughout the studio records he realizes like that's not working, and so he does tone it down after a while.
But like Lou just kind of.
Meanwhile, Lou is sort of like naturally competitive, and
yeah, it just rubs wrong.
Yeah.
Cause like, who wins that? Is it Lou?
It is Lou who wins it. Yeah, quite easily, frankly. Because she is, to be fair to her, she is good at Taskmaster.
Yes.
She is good at the show.
Unlike Paul.
Paul, I don't think he'd have done well regardless, but he was also suffering through a lot at the time because he had a shoulder issue and he was suffering through the early symptoms of Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And so he was struggling in multiple ways, but yeah, he still wouldn't have done well regardless. He admits that completely.
And then you have Sean Gibson, who is just adorable.
Yeah.
Just a gem.
Yeah.
The fucking train where they have to like play hide and seek with Alex, and she's like, can you keep play? And I'm just like, yep, that would be me.
I mean, that's such an amazing task as well. Like, it is just so interesting seeing the different ways of doing it, and just the awkwardness of Joe when he manages to win the task and still comes out feeling like he lost.
Yep.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Oh, funny.
But yeah, I would say that season and Series 6 are the only ones that I would say they probably got the casting a bit wrong. Series 6, I think, has the excuse of it was the first
10 episodes?
First 10 episode season, so they were still sort of getting used to that in terms of, you know, personalities and tasks, the actual tasks themselves.
Yeah. Who was on Series 6? Who was the winner?
So the winner was, again, quite easily Lisa Tarbuck, who, again, absolutely fabulous.
Lisa, the thing is, like, Lisa's so funny.
Lisa is so funny. And, like, everyone who talks about Lisa Tarbuck always says the same thing. She is so, so funny.
You see her outfit on, like, the Champion of Champions?
No, just perfect. Just perfect. It's just comes in with a goatee, and it looks like, so natural on her.
It looks too real. Like, I was thrown every time. I was like, damn it, Lisa.
I mean, the other thing is about Champions 2 is both Ed and Richard said Lisa should have won.
Who won that?
Richard.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oh my god, that was so funny though. Oh. I will say, I like all of Series 6, the contestants. I do think... Oh god, what's the redhead's name? What's her name?
Alice Levine.
No, yes. I think she's the only one who's like struggling with the format.
Again, she's not really a comedian. She's more of a comedy actress and I think like comedy podcaster sort of thing. She's not like a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
So as well as I don't think she'd really, you know, watch the show, so I don't think she, you know, massively knew what she was doing there.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Asim as well, I think, was another one who sort of struggled with that. Again, he's not necessarily a comedian. And so did sort of, you know, I think did sort of struggle to get that, I want to do well, but I also want to be funny. I don't know exactly, you know, how to get that balance right.
But the pictures of himself constantly was a good bit.
Yeah.
It was a good bit.
Oh, I mean, if we're talking pictures, Frankie just bring in art for like 60 or 70% of the prize tasks.
So funny. And then there's the series with Victoria Colin Mitchell.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for her because in a series with an audience, her prize tasks would have probably done better. But because there wasn't an audience, she was just presenting these like puns to silence.
Yes.
And just having Greg just stare at her.
But it almost makes it funnier.
It kind of does.
Like, it's almost like she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen the episodes of, like, Lie to Me with her husband, David Mitchell.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't, like, no, she knew what she was doing. You know?
Yeah.
She is entirely this person, and she knows how to play it.
Oh, I'd love David Mitchell on Taskmaster, but he's never gonna do it because he knows. But he's basically said he knows that the only thing he's got going for him is the illusion that he is a smart man, and Taskmaster will tear that illusion to pieces.
Right, because like Dara, like very clearly, very smart man.
Yeah.
Very dumb. Very dumb.
I mean, Dara is probably the best a smart contestant has ever done on the show.
I've never seen anything like these plants before. It's like they're an invasive species.
And to a certain extent, that is because he does have some street smarts to go along with that, just general intelligence.
That thing is huge. Everyone, be careful.
Again, it also helped that, you know, Sarah was his only real competition in that series.
Right, because what's his face? He was not playing. She was there to have a good time. And Mundia was just there for chuckles, and Bird was Bird.
Yeah.
God, Brady. Me for Brady. Me for. And then you have the season prior to them with Sophie Juker.
Yeah. That's I would say that's still probably my favorite series of Taskmaster.
It's a good one.
Because yeah, it is just the perfect cast, and the energy.
Oh my god.
The energy
Bridget is so funny.
She's so insane. I don't know how she has survived this long in the world. Just the pedometer task with her walking.
Well, we're on
It's
the
like,
home stretch.
how are you a person? How do you have children?
I mean, it is just.
Well, someone seems in tip-top form. Never knew about that. And still as humble as ever.
I was telling my fiance this, like she is she is a goth who is grown up.
Yeah.
And it's the best.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear. Nope, that'd be silly.
The fucking
Keep calm and take them down.
Sputnik story. Jesus.
Oh god.
And then Shu who her
The first person to genuinely exasperate Alex. The first person. Nobody else has managed to do it.
Meanwhile, Chris Ramsey is just there. I had a great time.
Yeah, no, Chris.
Talking about-
I mean, I'm sure I've told you this before, but the hilarious thing about Chris is that he had not watched Taskmaster before going on the show, and it was purely out of spite because
Really?
because his production office was basically right across from the Taskmaster production office. And so he's been expecting to be on the show all this time, and it took till series 13. So he basically just refused to watch it.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. But very on brand.
Yeah.
And then you have Father Ted.
he didn't just refuse to watch it himself, he also forbade his wife to watch it. Because again, she went on the Taskmaster podcast as well. Like, nope, Chris said that I shouldn't watch it either. He was that petty about it, which, you know, I just completely see from it.
Oh my god. I mean, that feels correct.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so funny watching the rest of the location tasks in Series 13. Because you can see that when the guess the shoe or find the shoe task happened in the day, because every task that happened after that, Alex is noticeably shorter with Bridget.
I'm starting to get that
Yep.
trap feeling again.
Noticeably
So funny.
shorter.
You're wrong.
It's so funny.
Where's that cat?
Looks like it's not done leading us yet.
Like, so funny.
Yeah.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch? There's always room for improvement.
Oh. No, it's Taskmaster is just such a funny show. Such a funny show.
Oh, I'm gonna be so sad when it finally ends, but like,
You
what
scared
a
of starting
ride!
fire?
Yeah.
As long as
What
we
a
put it
ride
out
of a
thoroughly
show.
afterwards, we'll be
The
fine.
hope
Really,
is that
it's a
they
good
manage
thing
to
to have a
get
fire
to
It'll keep the Zoogles
Series
Have you both
25 so
forgotten
they
what
can
we've
do
come
a
out here to
Champions of
do?
Champions of Champions.
I'll let them relax.
Right, and I think that would be a good place
Rewind
for
every now
Alex
and
and
again.
Greg to be like, we're done.
Yeah,
If you say so.
I wouldn't be mad.
yeah.
This should definitely keep you guys full.
Well, guess I'm off to bed.
I also just absolutely adore John Kearns.
Oh, John was so funny.
I think
He
we'll
was
rest
such
for
an
long
idiot,
enough.
and I love
Let's
him.
keep moving.
This had better not all be for nothing.
Somehow I doubt it'll
The
be a
find
wasted
your
trip.
hand task, where he's like,
Whatever you say, I guess. Let's follow.
I heard that your dad's hand looks like your own hand, so I'm also looking for my dad's hand. And just like, what are you on about? What are you actually saying? Oh. The prize task that was, what was it? The best thing to bring on a car journey. And John brings the sailor hat.
Just what?
For a
John,
dog,
why?
Not too good at taming people. Not to
I
brag,
don't, it's just
this
Greg
kind of
going,
thing
I
is my
don't think there's
specialty.
anything impressive about a small
So it
bearded
really is
man
you.
in a sailor hat.
Law told us. I almost didn't believe it.
I'm just surprised you could do two things at once.
But it's even better the fact that that doesn't get the 1 point because Munya brings in the stupid fucking, like, balance game.
Oh, that's right, he did do that.
That
Jesus.
clearly, if he tried to play it while driving,
like
would
somebody
cause
needs to
a
be put in their
12-car
place.
pileup.
The one time
Yep.
I wanted to resolve things peacefully. What the hell? I thought you wanted us to leave. You'll never make me talk. Not helpful. In fact, you're pretty damn stubborn, you know that?
Here's evil. Here comes the This one's mine.
I'm not done. I'll run you through.
Magna Ray. Annihilate. Here goes.
Also, just going back to the game for a second, gone 2 boss fights in a row, which is, you know, fun, I guess.
Oh, you're fighting her now.
Yeah.
Will this help?
I forgot why you fight her.
Hey, that.
Now see that you don't get in trouble again.
Gusty nail.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
But I don't think I'm doing a very good job at it, but whatever.
Demon Fang!
I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to beat her or not.
Not today!
Raging Cascade. In here.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not very good at combat. I'm mostly just letting the AI do the most of the work.
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be.
You're done! Double Demon Fang!
Healing circle.
Too slow.
Raging
So much for sitting this fight out.
Not
That is
today!
silly.
I'm on it!
I'm on it. I'll be safe.
Ready and easy. Now I see what I can do.
I'm on it! Dragon Swarm! Sonic Thrust!
Oh boy. So can you remember what episodes of Taskmaster New Zealand you've watched?
I think we watched 1 and 2
Right.
of Series 2. And I think that is what we did.
Yeah. And obviously you also watched, I think 6 for the rap task.
I didn't know, I think that was just a clip.
Ah, okay, fair enough. So you've watched some clips on YouTube, basically. Okay, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Glacial Spear. Here's evil.
I'm looking forward to you seeing Series 3 as well, because it's a weaker overall season than 2, but there are a couple of really funny, like, through line jokes that I just adore.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, I wasted that one.
Here, let me help. First aid!
First strike! You're done!
Raging cascade! Here, let me help. First aid!
Now I can let loose.
Energy!
Here I come! Live
Igneous discharge!
Take
The healing habit!
Take it, does it!
Do it! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Oh, that's it. Cool. Phew. I was not looking forward to having to do a second half
What's
of that
your
fight.
deal, huh? Did Dohalim put you up to this? You send us away and then come to finish us off? I don't buy it.
I wonder. We came here following a black cat. What reason could you have for tagging along? Certainly not as a spy.
You think she might have business with whoever called us out here?
And even if she did, I highly doubt she was trying to keep us from harm. Am I wrong? Just who was it that led us out here? Answer me.
Are you serious?
Hold your horses. I'm the one who summoned you all here.
I can't believe it's that person.
Maybe not all. Nice of you to drop by, Kisara. It's been a while.
You two know each other?
Hello, brother.
Huh. I don't see the resemblance.
So, you're the big heroes who liberated Calaglia and Cislodia, huh? It's an honor to meet you all.
We didn't do it all on our own. We had a lot of support from others along the way.
So, wait. Kisara's your sister?
Yep, that she is. The only family I have left.
Honestly,
I was the dreamer
he's
of the
so
dwarves,
hot.
Full of hope for the future of this realm. For both
Am I
Danes and
wrong?
Brennans alike.
No, you're not.
For siblings, you two don't exactly look like you're on the best of terms.
Or look like
That's
each
because
other.
Miguel here is a traitor. Isn't that right? We were in the guard together. That is, until he was caught plotting to assassinate
Ah,
His
yes,
Excellency
Zuko and
Lord
Azula.
Dolan.
Which one are you?
He took off after that.
Is that true?
You still believe that's what happened?
I don't see why I shouldn't.
Even if the truth slapped you in the face, you'd reject it. Same as back then. Heck, even now I'm still working to serve Lord Dohalim.
More lies. You haven't changed.
Before Lord Dohalim came to power, this country was ruled by an oppressive regime. We lost both
Shocker.
of our parents to it. Back in those days, there were countless Danon children who had been orphaned by the Renan's tyranny, just like us. So we formed our own families among ourselves and helped each other out, surviving as best we could. And then Lord Dohalim came along. He abolished the oppression that kept us down, and the Danons were treated like people again. Menancia was reborn under his watch, and orphan children became a thing of the past.
I mean, I'm
If
guessing
so,
it still happened.
Then why did you betray him?
Unfortunate things, do occur.
I'm not done talking.
Right?
I'm sure you know the Renans are trying to harvest astral energy from us Danons.
Right.
Yes.
Shion here told me that's how they decide their next sovereign.
That's right. There are 5 types of astral energy. Earth, water, fire, wind, and light. All of them are contained within every living being.
And that's the excuse they use to enslave us.
You ever wondered what happens to living beings and other matter when they lose all their astral energy?
They just die, or so I thought.
If only. See for yourselves.
Oh.
Oh.
What the... Is that metal?
Not metal, but to be honest, your guess is as good as mine. I believe it's... nothing.
Oh, he's got a
Matter
void
within
art.
physical
That's
form.
simple enough.
Just a reminder of what was once there. They call it the hollowing.
Void Sage, is that you?
Lyndon?
The process itself is invisible to the naked
Maybe that,
eye,
that explains
but it
why
makes the
he's
affected area
he doesn't look
reflect.
like he's sorry.
Once it consumes
Because
my
that
whole
sure as
body,
hell is not
that's it for me.
Wishi Kelsa.
I'm dead.
What? That can't... Miguel. When were you going to...
I see she learned some
Sister Plies
terrible
unfolding
news.
As we speak, one Lord Dohalim is likely none the wiser to. It was blind luck I even found out about it. I tried to warn the man for all the good it did. Take a look at this. It's called the Fruit of Helgen. When a Danon eats this fruit, their body enters a heightened state, one that causes them to emit more astral energy than usual.
Hold on. Could this be the reason Alphen and Law were feeling out of sorts last night after we ate with Dohalim?
Sounds like you've been introduced to these things before. None too surprising either. Most of the realm's food supply contains traces of the fruit.
If that's what we ate, does that mean we'll become hollowed like your hand?
You don't need to worry. You'd have to consume a large
You know,
amount
Law,
of the
you
fruit
could ask
regularly
things a
to
bit
exhibit
more
any symptoms.
carefully.
Does
But
that mean we're gonna die
But if
like
that's the
you?
case, then
Real
why aren't
tactful
I
way to
showing
put
you
it, but
symptoms?
no.
Why would you be inflicted and not me?
If I had to guess, because the guards' meals are free of it. Otherwise, they'd risk Lord Dohalim noticing. I tried to warn him, but all it got me was locked up. They force-fed me the fruit the entire time I was in chains. It's a miracle I made it out. They eventually left me for dead, thinking I would succumb to my condition. But I survived and managed to escape.
So the assassination plot. Just a cover-up?
What?
Eventually, I found others like me, and together we founded the Gold Dust Cats.
Are you done giving
Our
your tragic
mission is to
backstory
uncover
yet?
the truth and warn Lord Dohalim. As you can see,
Yep.
though, we haven't gotten very far in that regard. But I'm hoping that's about to change, now you're here.
Which is all thanks to your faithful feline servant.
It was a shot in the dark, but fortunately you recognized her for what she was, and Zare accomplished her mission with flying colors.
I like cats.
So what's our plan of attack, boss?
One of the Lord's routine inspections of the city. It's the only time commoners can talk to him face to face. That's the idea, anyway. His security is bound to be on high alert, but with you lot along, it's the best chance we're going to get to approach him.
All right, we're in. But I have to know, how do you keep going with all you've been through? How have you not given up hope?
Hey, someone has to fight for the future of the Danons here.
The future?
Lord Dohalim may be a wonderful person, but in the end, he's still a lord like any other. And
See,
lords
this is
can
the
be
thing that
replaced.
makes this
Once the
game
current
like
contest is
stick
over,
out to
the
me
next
as like
Lord of
a
Melba Menancia will take over.
like
Then it'll be back
kind
to
of like what
square
Meep
one
said
for
about
all
like
of us.
there are probably games there are
That's
JRPGs
why
out
it's
there that
imperative
do
Lord
talk about this
Dohalim
kind of
sees
thing
the light.
better, but I think this game is a bit more
You
honest
really believe
Yeah.
Dohalim is
in the
going
way
to
that
stick
those
his
other
neck out
games
for a
aren't.
Danon like you?
Is it so impossible to imagine? Everything begins with a simple leap of faith.
I mean, I think there is something to be said for being blunt with your message, and
And I mean, to be fair, like there are games where like it's subtle, and then there are games where it isn't. And I feel like games where it isn't are more they're more genuine, I feel. Like a game almost doesn't need to necessarily wear its heart on its sleeve, but you know what I mean?
yeah.
Right.
Just
And
gonna,
like you have a what?
no, I was just saying, just gonna steal some of that pork.
As you should. It's like you have a game like Final Fantasy 16 that's trying to say something, and even like FF14 also trying to say something. But in many ways, because it's doing so many things and like hides its message under various layers,
Yeah.
it kind of falls short of whatever mark it's doing because it's not being honest with itself. Because it's giving itself like that level of plausible deniability.
Yeah.
Same thing you see with Star Wars. Like, I don't know. Star Wars is like the poster child for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it does portray the Empire as bad, but it never really. It struggles to go into, in depth what it does beyond the, the big things like blowing up
Can't
Alderaan
sleep.
and all that.
Right, and even then, like, people are just like, it's fine.
And you?
I woke up randomly and couldn't fall back asleep. I'll go back to bed once I get tired again.
How's your shoulder?
Huh? My shoulder? Oh, you mean where Dohalim smacked me?
I mean, just the fact that Arise
Feels a
even,
little off,
portrays
but-
slavery as bad is
It's fine.
a step up on
It's a
some
whole-
Japanese series.
I know, right?
Doesn't look like it's gotten much better.
I mean, we both know we can't
I'll give
take
you
that
some more healing.
for granted, unfortunately.
Right. And I mean, like, Japan on its own, even. Like, even if you don't go the, like, the more overt route,
Hey.
like, you still run into
right.
pieces of media, like
That feels
Japanese
much
media
better.
especially,
Thanks, Shiro.
where, like, it's surprisingly racist. Like,
Yeah.
especially towards
I've been
Koreans.
thinking about what happened, and I was out of line.
Japan as a country has struggled to
I know
really
it takes more than a couple of bullets to
confront
bring
its
down
past and really accept its past.
Forget about it. It's fine now.
Um,
We all got out of there safe, And now you've healed
Yeah,
me up
no,
too.
like
We're going to
100%.
take
I
down all the
mean,
lords.
the World War II stuff in
That was
particular,
promise
but
we
even
made.
before that,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
there's always
But
been
there
that
was
tension
one
with
other thing
Korea
I
and
wanted to ask
China.
you.
right. And
Back at the
like,
palace.
not to
Law
like
said
get
you
into it
took
too
that
much,
hit
but like,
because you were worried
so
about
like,
me. What was it
one of
you
my
were worried
exes,
about?
like my ex, my
That's
main ex,
kinda
she's
hard to
Chinese,
explain.
and like she really
Just tell me.
struggled with
Well, for one,
Japan's
if we lost you,
image
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to use the blazing
in the
sword
modern
anymore.
world, and like I get it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Like it's a very fair
More
thing
important
to
than that.
feel.
I guess I just
No,
couldn't
I
have
mean,
But it-
you know, it's absolutely fair because
honestly.
to them
I
it
think
will have
that's all there
seemed
is to
like
it.
seemed like Japan got forgiven far
There
too
you go
easily,
saying
and
stuff
it
like that
probably
again.
did.
You never learn,
know,
do you?
Exactly.
And
And like,
it was only forgiven that easily because America needed it.
right, because China was the enemy,
Mhm.
and they needed Japan and
China and
Korea
Russia, you know, Japan was in a good position to
exactly.
help against both of them.
Right. Like Japan already had the built-in
Anyway, it's necessary. so we can fulfill our
antithetical
promise,
feelings
right?
towards
both of them, yeah.
Right.
and so like it made
Glad you remember
way
that
more
much.
sense.
You okay?
And yeah, and like the geopolitics of
Anyway,
it like made
I
a
think
ton
I'm
of
gonna
sense.
Go to bed.
Doesn't mean
Wow.
it like was just
I mean, there's also, to a certain extent, people were likely so worried after World War II of repeating the same mistakes of the post-World War I period, where
What
they
am I doing?
punished Germany harshly, and all it got them was the Nazis rising to power.
I sent Kisara back to town under the cover of night.
So
You do realize
there
that
is,
she was searching for you
especially
all this
considering,
time,
you
right?
know,
wonder
America
why.
worried about
She
communism
never could
spreading.
let
They
things go,
won't have
ever since
wanted
we
to
were kids.
punish Japan too
Maybe
harshly
she was
to
keeping an eye on
try and
you
avoid
all
a
because
communist
she thought you
regime
might
taking
cause
over.
trouble. I
exactly.
wouldn't be
And like
surprised.
all that in
Do we
aggregate
need to be
makes
worried
sense.
about her?
But it also
She could
leads
easily
to
report
Japan never
us.
having to reckon
Even if we could
Yeah.
have
with
kept
its
her here,
with its
it would have just
sins.
raised more
Like
suspicion.
even the way that
Besides, I want to believe
Like-
in her.
yes, the United States has not reckoned with its sins in any meaningful way, but at least we recognize that we have sins.
Yes,
Until then, stay close
Well,
and try not to wander off too far.
some of you do.
Well, in the sense that like it is well known
Guess we're waiting
and
on word
well
from Miguel for the
documented
time
within
being.
the
Let's go
zeitgeist
out
of
somewhere
America,
then.
right?
Twiddling
That
my
like
thumbs isn't my style.
yes, we are
I'm going
like
with you if you are.
famously a nation of
If I let you people go unsupervised,
Like,
you
very
might wind up
famously.
too far out for Miguel's news to reach.
Oh, come on. We're not children.
much like how
Make
you
like the
got
rest
like
of
your
the city and
like
play
Britain
nice
is
for
a
once.
nation of the empire, and like those are like not like yes, obviously not everyone recognizes that, not everyone accepts that, but at the same time, like it is a thing that's known, and at least some parts of the country are reckoning with that,
Yeah.
whereas that's doesn't feel as true in Japan
Mm.
because it's not even taught in schools that way.
Yeah.
Are you just going to keep standing or
I know he said it's necessary, but are we sure Miguel's plan is a good idea?
I mean, just because we came expecting a fight doesn't mean we have to have one.
And I think the other thing
If
is
Miguel
that
is right about Dohalim, we
I
may have
I
no
don't
reason
know
to
enough
fight.
about certainly
Dohalim
Japanese
may have found a way
politics
to build a
from,
future
you know,
where Danans and
end of World
Renans
War
can live
II to
alongside
now,
each
but
other in
certainly
peace.
in the recent
I guess
past,
that
I'm
may
fairly
be
sure they've
true,
mostly
but
had
I'm
pretty
still not
conservative
sure about
governments.
I mean, they're Abe is like
Just can't
very
bring myself to
famously a
trust a
cult,
Renin.
like member of a
I
cult,
really don't understand
Yeah.
what's going through Miguel's head. And as for him and
like
Kisara,
very famously.
He said they were siblings, right? But things seemed kind of awkward between them. I was an only child, so I never had to deal with that kind of stuff.
Is their situation really that different from ours?
that's... I mean, I guess not.
And then like, yeah,
The
like there's a
reality is
lot
that
of
we don't
things
know
happening
what's
in
true
Japan
and
that
what
like
isn't about Menancia yet.
just needs to be reckoned with, and like
Until
we're
we know
obviously
that for
not
sure, Let's not
Japanese
pass
or
judgment one
anything.
way or another, okay?
But
Yeah, okay.
still,
That's fair enough, I
it's
guess.
important to recognize. But going back to the point of like, it's more like there's a
So
level of
let me
like
ask you something, Rinwell.
a
Poodle
game
and
like
Miguel's
these
cat
pieces
are
of
both
media
animals
do need
native
to
to
just
Dana, right?
kind of own it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Zoogles definitely aren't.
Well, duh. Those things are too hideous to be from here. Not that owls are any better.
Hmm?
Well, Lord's gonna get savaged by now.
I love owls! Owls are the best! I swear!
Poodle's pretty cute, I'll admit. But I've also been rather partial to cats, too.
Oh, Law.
What about you, Shion?
You idiot.
Huh? Who? Me? Well, I guess... I like them both. Nothing. I didn't say anything. Either way, the more I think about it, I've never heard of anyone keeping Zoogles as pets.
Is it because Renans only use them for practical purposes?
Yeah, that could be the reason. They were originally created to serve as beasts of burden, so to speak.
Hey, can you guys quit standing around and get him to leave me alone? I'm begging you!
I also think there's an element of cultural difference, because obviously, you know, Japan does have this culture of not wanting to rock the boat.
Yes.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. But like that also doesn't mean that we like as cultural outsiders shouldn't be afraid to like call things out.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
But you know, this is you know, it's less excuses and more explanations for why Japan is like this, and I think that's
for sure.
And that's definitely something I think, you know, some people do struggle with. Is
I
that,
mean,
you know,
the amount of people who like refuse to like criticize Japan for like when they do like when you see a mangaka do something weird, right? Like there's a level of like Jesus Christ, guys.
Yeah.
You can be critical. It's okay. They're big boys. They're adults over there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like a game like Tales of Arise, like, is it flawed? Yes, but it's also doing a thing.
It's at the very least making an attempt, even if that attempt is clumsy.
Right. Because, like, you know, the ending is stupid.
All right.
It's
Right.
It's definitely a thing that they did.
Whew. I don't sense any more enemies.
I'd like to think not, Law. We're in the middle of the city.
What is Law saying now?
That you didn't sense any enemies.
You never know. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's Law.
Oh, good.
At this point,
There you are.
You people again. You shouldn't be loitering around here. Don't force
Well,
me
we
to
can just
arrest
let
you.
him be
I think
head
we've
FD.
established you couldn't even if you wanted to.
What?
Law, quit it. We're not here to argue with you, Captain.
Yeah, Law, we
We've
were
got
probably the
something to
ones on the
deliver to you.
ropes on that fight, and it was 4-on-1.
That's... That bracelet. Is that my brother's? Why are you giving this to me? I can't
Did
help but wonder
did her
what
brother
my
die
is
yet?
planning with all this.
I don't
I'm not
think
sure.
so. It would be a bit sudden if
That
he
said,
just
I
suddenly
think
up
he
and
was being
died the minute we
sincere
left
about
the
everything he
base.
told us back there. I've met a lot of good people fighting to
Look,
liberate Daphne.
after what's his face,
And I got
I
the
know
same
like there's a
feeling from
lot of
Miguel
things that
than
could
I did
happen.
from all of them. I think we can trust him.
What was his name
I think
again
you're
from
a
the
good
from
person,
the
too.
Light Kingdom?
Otherwise, he would report on us and the Gold Dust Cats, right?
The twin brother and like
What makes you
the
think
guy
I
he was
won't?
banging, who was
Because
actually the
Miguel
rebel
trusts
leader,
you.
and
Oh yeah,
That's enough for
that
me to
yeah,
trust you too.
yeah. I don't remember his name, but now I remember the
You're
elaborate and
a
dumb
pretty
backstory we
unusual
came
guy,
up
Alphen.
with.
Do you go around
it's
acting like
funnier.
that
It
everywhere you
is.
liberate people?
What do you mean?
Sorry, forget it. It's nothing.
Okay. Anyway,
I mean,
I think we'll
remembering
find
that
out
stuff
more
makes
about
me
what
miss
Miguel's planning soon
doing
enough.
the Phoenix
All we
Wright
can do
Aces.
streams.
now is
The
wait and
Aces
see.
Oh, those were.
yeah.
We should have done the Great Ace Attorney.
We can still do it. I still haven't played it, so.
I guess we just
Yeah,
wait for
I feel
things
like
to kick off.
you guys would
Yeah.
get a kick out of
Looks like
it.
we'll be staying at the inn.
The next time we have to like cancel a stream and do something, we should do the Great Ace Attorney.
Yeah. Maybe when Jack and I finish Inquisition, we can make it more of a little bit more regular. But yeah.
How close? Where are you guys in that series?
So we've finished the main story. Basically, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna spend a single stream doing the Jaws of Hakon DLC. Because I don't want to waste too much time there.
Oh, she left.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do Trespasser, which hopefully will only be a couple of
It happens
streams.
tomorrow. They want us to meet in that underground quarry.
So fingers crossed, we should be able to finish it soon, which is
Then we
good
should prepare
because
while we still can. We'll spend the night
I
here at the inn
like
again.
parts of Inquisition and I dislike parts of Inquisition.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
It's, you
What
know,
angle is the Lord
absolutely,
gonna
I would argue it's the weakest story of the 3 Dragon Age games.
I'd agree with you.
Miguel. Let's hurry to the quarry.
And, you know, absolutely, Corypheus is the worst villain of the trio, or of the main trio of villains. I mean, I know some people dislike Dragon Age 2 for the whole, oh, you can't actually change anything, but I kind of liked that. I thought it was a really interesting way to do a game.
Yeah, and like I just the fact like all the characters just feel like the most broken assholes.
Yeah.
Like there's a level of like it feels like a video game where you played the Guardians of the Galaxy before Chris Pratt was a thing.
Yeah.
His Excellency's
You know what I
life
mean?
is in
Yeah.
grave danger. Kill them all at once.
Wait.
Stay back, Your Excellency. It's too dangerous.
Enough. He cannot harm me. Nor, I think, does he intend to do so. Isn't that right, Miguel?
Indeed it is, Lord Dohalim.
I
So,
have
like,
heard many a rumor about you.
I don't know.
But
Like
I
Hawk
suppose
is
we'll
such
have
a
more time
fun
for those later.
protagonist.
He is. He really
You have made some
is.
rather interesting friends.
Because like I don't know,
He
the
has
hero
something
for
precious to
Elden
show
is
you.
the hero of
We are
hero
here
for
to make
Elden.
sure he
Yeah.
does.
But like
And what could that
the
be?
difficulty with the hero is like
Please, my lord, you needn't give these miscreants the time of
like
day.
and much like
I should
the
personally-
Inquisitor, like
Silence,
they are just
Councillor.
blank slates.
I wish to speak with them.
I mean, that's the thing.
you
You
were
could give basically Hawk 3 separate personalities,
It's what's in there,
and they would
Miranda.
all feel right.
Right.
know,
and
you
also like
You could have him be the optimistic guy. You could have him
Right.
be
Now that you
the
mention it, I don't
aggressive,
believe I have.
like, no, just
It's a den
put a
and medical
fucking end to
facility of
all
some
of this
kind,
guy.
is it
And then
not?
you could have him be the sad
I
clown.
think you need to see for
The
yourself,
sad,
my lord.
snarky clown
All
who
I
just
ask is that
is
you
trying
witness
to
this
joke as
before
the
you
world
pass
falls
judgment
around,
upon me.
falls apart around him.
Then witness it I shall.
Right. And then, like, but the thing is, like, what
This
makes
man is your
Hawk
brother,
so
correct?
good is, like,
I would like to ask that you
he
personally escort him
is a
while
part of
there.
the story around him. He's invested outside of player choice
Yeah.
in the characters and the world around him, in the way that, like, the hero of Ferelden and the Inquisitor feel like the world is happening to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you can argue that that's what's happening to Hawk too, but, like, for Hawk, it's the point. Like, Hawk's whole story is that, like, the world keeps happening despite his efforts.
Yeah.
Danger.
And that's
so
what
dangerous
makes his
about it?
story the
It's a regular
tragedy.
workplace, isn't it?
You'll see. Please.
And
I
it's
ask
so
you to
beautiful,
trust
like,
me.
the way it goes about doing that.
Yeah.
Sounds like you all
I
need to
don't know.
rethink your medical facilities around here.
I mean, look, could it
Hospitals are
have been
supposed to be
better?
safe.
Obviously, yes. It was like
Quiet.
a year and a half
He's
dev
alright.
cycle.
Let's see what they have
But-
to show
But they
us,
did,
shall we?
but they did the best they fucking
As you
could.
wish.
Absolutely, no. I'm not
strength
going to
is
put any
appreciated.
blames on the devs for
With
that
you,
because
we
they
can all breathe a little
absolutely
easier.
did their best with it. But you know, it is what it is. But I still think that, or I would still say that Dragon Age 2 is my favorite game of the series.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. It's a very good story. It's solid.
I
Like,
didn't realize you held my strength in such high regard.
Fenris and Anders
I meant what I
still
said before.
elicit a
Anyone who
response
tries
from
to fight you will
people.
have
Yeah.
a hard time of it. How long have you been wielding that enormous shield?
Ever since
Like,
my first job as a guardsman.
There are
Our
a
duty
few
was to
characters
stop
where that is
any
a true
attack dead in
statement.
its tracks, then take
And,
all that
you know?
momentum
You know,
and turn it right around to
It
smash
feels
the
like they
attacker.
tried to do the same
But why
thing
bother blocking
with
in
the
the first
companions
place?
in Inquisition,
Wouldn't it be
where they
better to
had,
just
you know,
dodge the attack
opposing
and get
sides
back
of the
immediately?
issue,
Try
but they
doing
did it
that
so
when
much
you've got someone
worse.
standing behind you
Because-
that you need to protect.
Yeah.
This shield
To be
is a
brutally
symbol
honest,
of our conviction
most
as
of the
guardsmen.
you know,
Every time we
both sides of the
successfully
equation
block an
just
attack,
kind of fucking
Our
sucked.
fighting spirit only
Um,
grows stronger.
So what you're saying
And it
is
was
that,
only really the
unlike
ones,
Law,
you know,
you can
sort
actually
of
take a hit.
I'm right
apart
here.
from those issues
This
that
area
felt-
right here
that
is
felt
where the
good,
real
that
heart
felt
of
real.
darkness used to lie in Menancia. It wasn't unusual for the holes
Maybe
we
not
dug in
real,
this
but,
earth
you know,
to become our graves, and for the stones we mined to serve as our
that felt like they
tombstones.
actually wanted to be there.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can remember it so clearly. I remember how the adults
know,
used to describe this place. Like it was setting foot
I mean,
in
the
gaping maw of a
so far in
monster.
our playthrough, the three that
anyway,
we've really
That's all history now.
really stayed away from
It
are
is. All
Vivienne,
the bloodstains on
Solus,
the
and
rocks,
Sarah.
the still air, the constant
And you know,
stench of death.
it's
We're very
They are
lucky
the most
it's all in the distant
like
past.
polarizing characters for a
Yeah.
reason.
The smell of sweat and debris still hangs in the air.
I mean, Vivienne and
least
Solus
the
because they
bannings
are
of Menancia
extremists
can
on,
live with
you know,
joy in
opposite
their
ends of the
hearts.
spectrum,
And
and
it's you
Sarah
that we
because
have to
she
thank for
just
this
felt
slow
like she was
dawning.
shoved into
We would never
be,
have come so far
you know,
if it wasn't for
funny
you.
juvenile humor person.
Magar,
And like the
why bring
really
all of this up
frustrating thing
now?
about Sarah is
what
like
exactly is the point?
she
I just wanted
is
to remind
like she
us.
is the most like
I think it's
she's the
important that
character
we
who-
remember how
for
precious
whom
the rights we
I
enjoy under his
agree with
lordship's grace
politically.
truly are.
But I still
Right,
don't get
yeah.
why.
and
You'll understand soon enough. For now, I simply want you to keep
And
your
yet
lives
there's,
in
like,
mind as we continue
she
our
is the
journey.
most insufferable version of this.
Yeah.
And like, but then you have a character like Dorian who is excellent.
Yes.
Like Dorian is such a fun time.
It's teeming with Zeugles. Are they kept here as some kind of deterrent?
Not that I know of. This is where the spirit vessel is housed, so it's no place for beasts. What's going on? Where are all the laborers?
I mean, you know,
You're the only one who doesn't seem
there's
in
a
the least
there's a
bit
lot of
surprised.
sort of
Perhaps you'd care to enlighten us?
pairs in the
All in due course, my lord.
with the
But first,
companions
just
in
a little
Inquisition.
bit
So
further.
obviously, you know,
Once we
you've
reach
got
our
the
destination,
Solus and
everything will
Vivienne,
become
the two
clear soon enough.
extremists. You've got, you know, Cassandra and Varric as a
wish.
pair.
And to be fair, like Cassandra and Varric work
I noticed
because
your
they have
shield just
history.
appears out of
Yes.
nowhere whenever you
Like
need to use it.
on-screen
Just
history.
like Shion and her gun.
Does it use the same Renin transferal technology too?
And again,
Don't
you can,
need astral energy
but it
in
also
order
works
to
because
use
you
that?
can see both sides
do.
of the argument
Obviously,
as well.
I can't cast arts myself, but
Right.
I'm equipped
Whereas,
with a
like
device that has
for
the
the
necessary
Templar
energy charged
versus
into it.
Mage debate,
As long as I'm
it
using
isn't
the
a debate.
device,
It
I can call
is.
forth my
There's a
shield
right
whenever
answer.
I like.
Yes.
Equipment charged with astral energy isn't all that rare.
So basically, there's nothing special about Renin technology.
While we
that
should be,
prevents
you know,
Danins
agreeing
from
with
using
with
it?
Solus on a lot of
No.
the things, he's
as you
just
might expect,
so
normally
insufferable
they'd never
about
be
it
given
that
any of it
it
in
makes
the
it
first
hard
place.
to agree with him.
It's not as
Right.
if just anybody gets to have it.
And
here.
like
You need
Vivienne's
to
like
earn Lord
introduction
Dolin's
is so
trust before
good,
you're
but
allowed
she's
access to
such
it.
she's like the worst.
What makes you so sure he's not bribing you?
Rinwell.
I'm just being honest. It's
I mean,
not
she's,
your
you know,
fault.
she's the token minority for
I
the
can
for the
understand why you'd be
conservatives.
skeptical. However, Elda Menancia truly
Right.
has
You know,
transformed
she's
and
the,
evolved from the sort of realm it
Uncle
once was.
Ruckus, yes.
Yeah, she's the.
Yes, she's right.
I can't believe this leopard
That's
is eating
exactly
my
why.
face after I voted for the leopard
Miguel?
eating faces
Sorry,
party.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll explain more once we arrive at our destination.
But yeah, the other major pair is Dorian and Bull, and they work because they are two sides of the same coin. You know, they are two people from pretty extreme homelands who, you know, choose different. You know, Bull chooses or can choose to, you know, disavow it all in the end and just walk away from it, whereas Dorian chooses to make things better. But the point is that, you know, both are acceptable answers. You know, you shouldn't feel you have the weight of, you know, changing your entire country if you don't want to. But, you know, Dorian also feels like he has that position in Tevinter, and he feels, especially after watching the Inquisitor, he feels he has to try and make the changes.
Wow.
Right. And like that's why Dorian and the Bull feel good as characters. Like aside from like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Dorian's voice actor just killing it.
If you're being charged, give me a shout. Right.
Like
Thanks for the help.
the Bull and Dorian are both invested in their stories.
Yeah.
I'll stop its charge. I'll leave the charge to me.
Like I don't know.
I mean, the worry, of course, is that, you know, BioWare has now sacked a lot of its experienced staff and probably good staff. You know, so.
Yeah. Well, shame. At this point, it's
Guess
it
it's
is
gonna
what
be
it is.
fun to see how Red Wolf turns out as a result.
I don't have high hopes. But.
No. Okay, there we go.
Leave the charges to me. I'll run you through.
Oh boy, Kisara has a lot.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Oh yeah, going back to Taskmaster, so you remember the sunscreen task in New Zealand? Series 2?
Yes.
The, what was it, squirt sun cream the furthest?
Yes.
So that was actually a tiebreaker.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. But then they realized they hadn't included a time limit in the task, and so everyone started taking so long to, you know, prepare. And then, you know, pretty much failing completely, with the only one actually succeeding being Ursula, you know, just doing it.
Yep. Because of course.
Look sharp! Lightning fire blade!
I'm ready for the next battle.
Because of course she did. Like,
Yeah.
Of course she just... I want to... Can you tell me what David did? I forget.
So I think he, So yeah, I think he put, water in the sunscreen to, you know, make it more fluid and more liquid.
Oh my god.
But he basically started, like, so he could add more water, he basically started drinking it and then spitting it out.
David, why?
And at one point he spat out and some of it got on the sheet.
And that's of course what they counted.
Yes. I mean, you know, it was very much the same for all the other competitors bar Ursula of, all right, we're preparing, and then accidentally some of it gets on the tarpaulin, and oh shit. Well, that was a lot of wasted effort.
Yep. Oh, David. Oh, sweet David.
I mean, I think that was also the same episode where, yeah, they had to transform the room when the lights go out, and they would have 30 seconds of darkness. But with David, the light went off accidentally, and so David suddenly had to figure out what to do in basically 30 seconds. And just,
of course he did.
And just undressed completely.
Of course he did. Oh my god, David, why?
All right.
And to be fair, I think he either said in the studio or he said on the podcast that Paul did offer to let him do that again, basically, but he just said, nah, it'd be funnier this way.
It is. He's correct.
It is. It's absolutely hilarious.
I didn't know you could use arts like that.
Yeah, but still, what's with that smoke and these Zoogles around here?
Have we gotten the reveal that things are weird with this guy?
I'm not sure if we've gotten the, you know, reveal entirely, but you know, we're in the quarry and things are not as they should be. So I imagine the reveal is not that far off.
Looks like we won. This is...
Okay. Oh, you're gonna make me go the long way. Okay.
It's a Tales game. What do you expect?
How long have they been mining this place out?
Since before I was born. Or so they tell me. Probably for decades.
That long? I'm impressed the place has never caved in during all that time.
Little help!
Oh, here's something I realized, because I'm gonna be honest, I've been VPNing to America for the past few days, so I've been able to watch Taskmaster on YouTube. Especially, well, I've been able to watch 13 to 15 on YouTube, which I'm very pleased about because it's a pain in the ass to have to watch it on fucking Channel 4's streaming service, which sucks.
Is it a better way to watch?
Well, put it this way, I'm able to have no ads because I've got an ad blocker, whereas Channel 4's forces me to watch the ads. Like, outright forces me to the point where I have to have the screen up, otherwise the ads won't play.
That's annoying.
Thankfully, you know, it's seems bamboozled by the idea of what is it?
A VPN?
Well, not a VPN, but 2 screens, so I can, you know, have.
You can get by.
I can get by a little bit better now, but it's still annoying. But what I've realized is that the YouTube episodes don't have the like how to describe them, like the go to ads and come back from ad skits.
Well then, let's keep
There are
moving.
skits?
Well, not necessarily skits, but like let me just
Like
pause.
the cutaway cards?
Sort of, yeah. So there's cutaway cards, but there's also like Greg will send it to ads. Like, oh, spend the next 4 minutes, you know.
So they used to show that on the older YouTube videos.
What was that?
They used to include that on the older YouTube videos.
Yes. But yeah, I don't think they're on there for at the very least 13 to 15.
No, they're not.
Which is a shame because that means you're missing probably the best one of those, which is a come back from the ads, where Greg welcomes us back and then throws to Alex to, you know, remind us of the task, and Alex goes, "Hi guys, we're very happy here," and puts his hand on Greg's arm, and Greg just goes, "Get your fucking hand off me," and it just breaks Alex. And Greg genuinely seems shocked he was so mean, and is like, is almost apologizing for it, and Alex is pissing himself laughing.
It's a funny bit.
He just absolutely loses it. I think that was in Series 13.
Okay.
I mean, if you search "Get Your Fucking Hand Off Me, Taskmaster," it will show up. I'm fairly sure somebody has uploaded it on YouTube, and it is just so funny. Because Greg genuinely seems shocked at how mean he actually was in that moment, but Alex loves it.
I mean, again, it's a hilarious bit.
Yeah. Did Law just falter on one of his dumb attack names?
I'm right behind you, Shion.
What?
Did Law just falter on one of his dumb attack names?
I think so.
Like, it sounded like he did.
I think... Yeah, maybe. I don't remember exactly. It's been a minute.
Like, there was one where he just sort of hesitated between the first and the second word, and it was like, wait, did you forget what you were gonna say, Law, or what?
I can carve through armor. Sword Rain Alpha. I'm on it. Rip and tear. Vanquish darkness. You're mine. Luna Rondo. Rising Phoenix. Come on it. Come and get it.
Everyone hanging in there?
Yeah, fine.
This place is a lot more complicated than I expected. Is this the right way?
Yeah. You'll find some metal scaffolding nearby. Once we go through there, we can make our way to the inner depths.
Are you on alert for your brother? You needn't worry so much. He's not the type of man to act rashly.
Taskmaster is just such a good show.
It is.
It just nails the bit. Because, like, it's absurd without being overly so.
Yeah.
Like, there's a line where it could go too much, and for some people it does cross that. But it just doesn't. Like, it just nails that for me.
I mean, part of it is that, you know, it doesn't take itself too seriously. You know, the focus is not the competition aspect of it.
It's who can be the dumbest little shit.
Yeah.
Looks like we've arrived.
This is the way to the medical facility, right?
Oh, I've just remembered another... Well, no.
You'll see.
2 Ivo complete fails. Do the most impressive thing with one breath.
Yes.
Where... First he tried to get on the radio, and then tried to call Greg, and then settled for Ed, and then just very badly blew on a basketball that then didn't break any of the glasses.
It was just like, Ivo, how?
So there really
Meanwhile, May is just killing it over the corner.
Yeah.
Where's the medical facility?
And Frankie is just a naughty little boy.
In fact, it never even existed in the first place.
But
just blowing a whistle and distracting a golfer.
Where could they have all gone?
And then the other the other Ivo fail was the task bingo, where he decided to do the sit for 3 minutes in the shed and sat in the caravan.
When matter ceases to be matter.
Oh, Ivo.
Wait, what was the task?
So it was get a line or all four corners on the bingo board, and each number had a different task corresponding to it.
I do not remember this task at all.
No way. It can't be.
It's very funny. It's the one where Kyle gets a task where you have to put both of your shoes on a different roof, and runs around for pretty much the rest of the main task going, I've got no shoes on.
And what is this hollowing?
And in the
I do
studio,
not recall this.
and in the studio, like, did Kyle have any shoes on in that task? No, I don't think he did. What episode was there?
Breaks down completely. A death leaving no physical remains.
No, not 16, 15. Because I just watched the episode the other day.
The only proof that matter once
It was episode 4, How Heavy is the Water? And that's the one with the very controversial task, which was strike the most drum skins and cymbals with a single throw of a bouncy ball, where
How many Danons?
May tied a string to the bouncy ball, and
You actually
just
expect me to believe all
absolutely,
that?
like,
That an astral art
there was a
illiterate
lot
Dan
of
would know of
debate
this
about it
unseen
in the
atrocity?
studio.
And that I, a
Yeah, I
Lord,
think I
had
remember
no
that.
knowledge?
And basically Greg gave it to May because I'm fairly sure it was because of the look on Kyle's face when he did it.
This is a fruit of Helgen.
I need to rewatch this episode because I do not recall this at all.
It's a good episode. It's a very good episode.
What are you doing, Miguel?
Oh, I think he's dying.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it?
Man, it must suck being a revolutionary leader in this fucking world.
Yeah.
Lord, proof of the bounds of your knowledge. Proof of the countless Danon deaths under your watch. No, they were not merely deaths. Those Danons were completely erased. And now, the only testament...
Like, they don't, like, they just drop like flies.
Miguel!
Is what, Zephyr dies in, like, it has, like, all of the death flags from jump.
I mean, we are 3 for 3 at this point.
You have to stop them.
Yep.
You're the only one who can prevent Menancia from returning to the living hell that it was once before.
Yeah, it's like this one, he has all of the death flags.
Please stop them.
I mean, this guy was dying already from the moment we met him. He just sort of hastened it to open Dohalim's eyes.
Yeah.
Miguel! Miguel! Miguel!
And then the one in the light place was killed by his twin brother.
He was killed by his twin brother, so his gay lover had to take over.
Yep.
God, I love that. I love our little bullshit nonsense. So dumb.
Yep.
I didn't have much time left anyway. Please. Help our Lord Dohalim to make our greatest dream a reality.
But yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Miguel! Miguel!
I mean, it's definitely unfortunate for Kasada. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
she has a rough moment. I mean, Law also has a really rough time.
Yeah.
But he also kills his dad.
Stop!
Well, let's be honest. Like, Law's the reason his dad is dead.
Yeah. Oh boy, we're gonna have to fight Dohalim now.
Maybe.
What is this? His master core's going berserk.
Oh boy.
Dohalim, crazy.
I know all you want is peace, but we need your help. We gotta get him under control.
Damn! If he wasn't already strong enough!
Pray forgive me this, my lord.
Here I come! Lightning storm!
This one you have to win. But I think you have to hold out until you get to a certain point.
Watch out, everyone!
I think you have to just wait until Kisara wakes up.
Now you see what I can do! Watch this!
Ow, ow, ow. I was sort of hoping he'd just keep not really doing anything and, you know.
This one's mine! Man, thousand nails! Carry it all! Will this help?
You're mine!
50 nails! Healing
No.
I owe you one.
No, that would be too easy, no.
I know. Ow, ow, ow.
I think you have to like use Kisara's special ability to break through the Dohalim. Or some nightmare shit like that.
Oh, didn't seem to do much when I used that, but I probably mistimed it.
Is she in your party?
She is not.
Okay.
Alright, we have a quarter down. It's nice. Ow. Ow. Well, that didn't go well. And Shion's down as well, which is not great.
Look out for the charge attack!
Law just go down?
Nothing gets through me. This I swear.
Law definitely went down for a sec, yeah.
You're wide open!
I'll heal you all! May a thousand gales carry you through!
Ow. Ow.
No further.
Ooh.
There it is.
Right in solar plexus.
He stopped moving! Get him!
Unfortunately, I was, you know, dead at the time, but... will continue to be dead, because... yeah. Till Shion brings me back.
Please forgive me.
More for the sun! I never miss! Come and get Take You're ready and ready! Here's a healing arm!
Just gonna keep... try to keep dodging while he did that. Right, Shion.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! That freaking does it! Resuscitation! Lightning can down! I'll heal you all! That freaking does it! Healing circle! Heart seal!
Right. You're dodging. Oh, come on, I was dodging that.
No, you weren't.
I was. Oh god, we at least got a big strike off. God, now he's phase 2, I assume.
Yep, this is his phase 2.
If he's just doing this again, it's not too bad. Oh, we don't have enough CP to bring Alvin back. Okay.
Not my fight.
For fuck's sake.
Let the marksman handle this. Where are you going? I'll bring you back from death's abyss. I was over.
And now we're screwed.
Yep.
Now we have to keep everyone alive.
You picked the wrong fight. I'm on it. I'll end you. Severing wind. Demon Fang. Almost. You're wide open. Take this. You're done. Pierce through. Demon Fang. Demon Fang.
I'm just gonna make
I'm on it. Here I come.
please leave me alone! Leave me alone!
I'm such a failure.
No. Can't end here.
We've been going for basically 2 hours. I'm gonna stop here.
Yeah, this might be a good time to stop.
Because to be brutally honest, I skipped a lot of fights in the hope that we could get to the big betrayal scene, and we still didn't manage to do it because I didn't realize this fight was going to happen. So I should probably go back and do some of that stuff.
Probably. Just, like, train a little bit.
I think we're like level 20 or 21, and Dohalim is 24, so
Yeah.
could probably use some leveling up.
I will. You should check out Liza P for like the song, like just for the soundtrack. It's good.
I think I watched somebody play it when it first came out, and you know, it does seem like an interesting take on the whole Souls-like thing, as well as an interesting take on Pinocchio.
I mostly just say it because it's very. It's how to describe it. It has a very good soundtrack.
Fair enough. I will give it a listen. So thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening to the two of us gush about Taskmaster for most of this.
As we do every time we're on a thing together.
Genuinely, if you haven't at least tried Taskmaster, I highly recommend it. It is one of those shows that is just absolutely spectacular. But in terms of future stuff, Saturday we might be doing a One Piece characters tier list, which, oh boy, that's going to be many streams. Sunday, I think we're going to try and do Baldur's Gate 3 again. And then Tuesday and Thursday will probably be gaming, I think. Probably, I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, again, thank you for watching. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch. And possibly on the website formerly known as Twitter. It's not really a relevant site anymore.
Was it ever?
Yeah, it was all right before the idiot took over. It wasn't like amazing. It absolutely had problems. Problems that had only grown over the previous like 3 or 4 years, but
it wasn't full to bursting with Nazis.
Yeah, it was at the very least usable. It's barely usable now.
Yeah.
So yes, a final thank you for watching, and hopefully we will see you on Saturday to possibly rank some One Piece characters. Good night.
Night.